Yo, what's good? It's Cream. First off, I appreciate you for signing up. For real. The fact that you took a minute out of your day to register for this training tells me something about you. You're not just sitting around hoping your financial situation changes on its own. You're actually doing something about it. Most people would have just kept scrolling. You didn't. That tells me something. Now, let me tell you exactly why you made the right move and what's about to happen on this training. Because I already know what's going through your head right now. Oh, great. Another real estate guru trying to sell me on a course. And honestly, I get it. I've seen the same stuff you've probably seen. Dudes on Instagram flexing Lambos telling you to flip houses, YouTube gurus teaching you Airbnb strategies that stopped working 2 years ago, wholesaling coaches promising quick cash when no money and no experience, or some guy telling you to buy a $2 million property in California and somehow make it cash flow. That's not what this is. I'm not going to teach you some high risk strategy where you're competing with every other investor on the same deals and praying the market doesn't crash. What I'm going to show you on this live training is the exact system I've used to scale my portfolio of over 320 Section 8 properties with government-backed rent coming in on the first of every single month. And the crazy part is, I started this at 17 years old with $5,000 in my pocket working for Section 8. Now, you're probably thinking in your head right now, all right, who is this guy and why should I listen to him? Fair. So let me just break it down for you and I'll give you 3 reasons very quickly. Number 1, just look at what I've actually done with this. Right now, I own over 300 Section 8 rental properties across multiple states. My portfolio is worth well over $14 million. The government sends me over $400,000 a month in government-backed rent. And after I pay all of my expenses, mortgages, insurance, management, maintenance, I'm keeping hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash flow every single month. And I started the whole thing at 17 years old. I had no investors lined up, no cosigner. I grew up in a Middle Eastern household in New Orleans, Louisiana, and my parents were completely against me investing in real estate. They told me I had to be a doctor, a lawyer, and there was no plan C. But at 17, I needed community service hours to graduate high school. So I interned at my local Section 8 housing authority in Louisiana for 6 months. I learned the entire system from the inside out, the inspections, the paperwork, the underwriting, the tenant screening, all of it. I watched landlords with 50, 60, 100 properties collecting government-backed checks every single month. And I said, that's going to be me. My first deal was a $50,000 property. I put $5,000 down through seller financing because I couldn't even get a bank loan at 17 years old. That property rented out to a Section 8 tenant for $1,500 a month. I still own that property today and it rents out for $2,000 a month to a Section 8 tenant. And 6 years later, I drive a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I live in Miami, Florida. I own hundreds of Section 8 properties completely out of state that I've never even stepped a foot into. And I work maybe 4 to 6 hours every single week on my personal portfolio. And that's not because I got lucky. It's because I systemized the business model. Number 2, and this is important because it's not just me doing this. The people I'm teaching are getting crazy results as well. I've personally mentored over 4,000 students through this entire process, and let me give you some specifics. For example, Demarie Heath came into my program after 60 days, bought his first Section 8 rental property completely out of state in Cleveland, Ohio, utilizing something called seller financing, which didn't require him to have any tax returns, any real estate history, or even utilize his credit score. He was a college student in Dallas, Texas, and the craziest part is he didn't step into any of the properties that he actually purchased. So he was able to do this completely out of state, meanwhile still staying in college. Over 92% of the students in my program right now are doing this completely out of state without having to see the property whatsoever, and the sole reason for that is because we've already set up the resources, including the property managers, the inspectors, the realtors, the handyman. So you're able to plug in all of these resources that we've built over the past 5 years. And then there's Scott Wade, who came into the program working in a dealership in Newport Beach, California. He came to me and he mentioned that he was never going to be able to buy real estate unless he had hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up, which was completely incorrect. Additionally, he didn't even know that properties under $100,000 in the US even existed. He told me his daughter was going to graduate from high school and he wanted some sort of extra income for him and his family. Now, Scott Wade's got a portfolio that's cash flowing him every single month, backed by the US government. Brandon came into the program and he had capital from crypto, but zero real estate experience whatsoever. And in 60 days, utilizing our one-on-one help in the program, he closed on his first 2 Section 8 rental properties completely out of state. He was tired of the uncertainty with the stock market and crypto, and he wanted something that was government backed. And then there's Henry Cejudo. Yes, 2-time UFC champion and Olympic gold medalist Henry Cejudo, one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time. We got him in a Section 8 portfolio right after his retirement because he saw the system, understood how it worked, and moved on it quick. He didn't want to be another burnt out athlete that runs into bankruptcy shortly after retirement. And none of these people are finance majors or real estate prodigies. We're taking a construction worker, a guy who made his money in crypto, a mom working at a school, and a professional UFC fighter, and turning them into real estate investors just because we had a system that they could follow every single time. And number 3, what I do is fundamentally different from every other real estate strategy out there. Most real estate strategies require you to time the market, compete with thousands of other investors, manage tenants yourself, or dump over $100,000 into one property just to get started. That's where Section 8 comes in. And honestly, once you understand how this works, you're going to try and wonder why everybody else isn't doing it. The government backs your rent payment on the first of every single month, not the tenant, the US government. So you're not chasing anybody for rent. You're not stressing about vacancies, and you're definitely not sitting there hoping the economy holds up. And even during COVID, when every other landlord was struggling and not getting paid, I collected every single check on the first of every single month. Even during government shutdowns, I got paid as well. The crazy thing is, Section 8 has been around since 1937. It survived every recession, every war, every pandemic. It's not going anywhere. And the government pays 10 to 30% above market rents just to incentivize landlords to participate. Your average Section 8 tenant stays in a property for 7.5 years. Less than 10% of landlords even accept Section 8. So there's massive demand and almost no competition. I'm buying turnkey properties under $100,000 in landlord-friendly states that I've never even seen in person. My property managers handle everything for me. I'm just the investor in the background, not the day-to-day landlord. So let me tell you exactly what you're gonna walk away with from this training. How I find properties under $100,000 in markets where numbers actually work. My exact market selection process and the 30+ vetted cities where my students are buying right now. How to get financing even if you don't have perfect credit or a W-2 job using DSCR loans and seller financing. My bulletproof lease with 3 clauses that save me tens of thousands of dollars a year. My 7-point tenant screening system so you never have to worry about problematic tenants. And I'm gonna share strategies on this training that I do not put on YouTube and that I do not put on Instagram. And I definitely don't give them out for free. This is the stuff that separates my students from the people who spend a year trying to figure it out on their own and end up losing $20,000 before they even call me. But here's the thing, you actually have to show up. This is a live training. I'm not recording this and throwing it onto some replay page. The reason that it matters that you're there live is because I'm going to deep dive into the step-by-step process. I'm literally going to be answering your questions in real time. And for those of you who stay until the very end, I have something that I promise you're gonna wanna see. Look, I get it. You're busy, you've got a job, responsibilities, things going on. But here's what I promise you. The stuff I'm going to cover on this training is worth way more than whatever else you're going to be doing for that 1 hour. I don't care if you're skeptical right now. I don't care if you got burned by some guru in the past, or if you've already tried Airbnb or potentially wholesaling or flipping properties and it didn't pan out. Just come with an open mind and I'll bring the receipts for you. So here's what to do right now. Step 1, look out for a call from our team. My business advisors are going to be reaching out to you. They want to understand a little bit about your goals. They're going to ask you a few questions and a little bit about your goals. Step 2, check your inbox. You're going to be getting an email from me with your private access link. Make sure you save it, screenshot it, do whatever you need so you do not lose it. Step 3, mark your calendar for the date and time of this training. Actually do it. Don't just say you'll remember, because most people forget, don't show up, and then 6 months from now, they're in the exact same spot wondering why nothing changed in their life. You already took the first step by signing up, so don't waste it. Look, more and more investors are catching on to Section 8 every single month. Properties under $100,000 in these markets are not going to be around forever. The window's open right now, and people who actually move on this are going to look back a year from now and be glad they really did something. I remember being exactly where you are right now. I was 17 with $5,000 to my name. Literally everyone around me thought that I was insane. My parents weren't backing me. I had no credit score, couldn't get a loan, had nobody to co-sign for me, and Section 8 is the reason my life looks completely different today. It's the same exact thing for my students. And on this training, I'm going to break down exactly how you could do the same thing that I did. Answer the call, save your link, mark your calendar. I'll see you on the live training. Let's get it, guys.